Hey, welcome to Love 89 Videos. So the other day we decided to try the Restore so we can do a test. Well, I've already driven the car a couple hundred miles. As you see one of the other videos, we did the new spark plugs in there and everything. So a few hundred miles later, we're going to go ahead and pull them out. We're going to check the spark plugs, and we're going to go ahead and do another compression test and see what the actual results are. Now, if you want to see what the results are live, you can go to the first part of this, how to do a compression test. I did it on the Civic a few days back. So that actually shows what all the cylinders were, and you can actually check it out. So we're going to do it again, this time after using Restore 200 miles later. Do you think it really works? I don't know. We'll have to find out. Stay tuned. Now I will say this, I just pulled out all the boots, and boy, they popped out so much better since I put the dielectric grease on there. Like I said, I showed you how to do changing your spark plugs on the Civic. That stuff worked great. Put the anti-seize on the spark plugs. I will tell you this, when I did change out the spark plugs, the car went back to a normal idle, and I understand why, because those other spark plugs were pretty much worn out. So we're going to go ahead and get these out. We're going to just look and see what the plugs look like. Hopefully they look nice and like a good burn all the way across, nice color. So let me get these out and I'll show you what they look like. Now I pulled out the plugs. They all came out really nice too, since they have anti-seize. And as you see, they're all burning exactly the same. Now back in the old school days, when we didn't have all this ethanol in there, I'd be like, oh my god, you're running like super lean. Well, on today's type of cars, with the way the alcohol is in the fuel, or they call it the ethanol. Anyways, this is actually pretty normal. This is not actually bad. You more want to have the same all the way across. Now I would typically say this would be on the lean side on the other way, but this is actually running good. So let's go ahead and break out the compression gauge, and let's see what the cylinders are saying. Now the gauge is already hooked up, so I'm going to jump in the car and see. Now if you remember right, on the how to do a compression test video, this one was at 120, this one was at 119 area, this one was around 77 pounds or so, and that one had dropped down to about 90 pounds. So let's go ahead and get the first one started and let's see what we got. Now I just did that one, and it looks like it went up maybe a pound or two. So this one is up to 122. And it's pretty much right where it's going to stay. It didn't really budge much. So let's see what the next one is. Okay, we're hooked up on number 3. Let's see what that one says. Alright, that one is about the same too. It's right at 119 range. Almost identical to what we had last time. So no change really yet. 2 pounds in the first cylinder. It's not much. Let's see what the main two are. Number 1 and number 2. That were the worst. Okay, I got number 2 hooked up. So let's see what we got. Wow, look at that. That's freaking amazing. Okay? That is right at 119. This one was down around 60 pounds, 70 pounds range. Wow. Shocked. See, if it didn't go up any like that, it actually could have been a broken ring, cracked piston, could have been a bad valve type thing, letting air pass. But when it went up like that, wow. I don't really have any words for that. That's a big jump on that. Let's see what number 1 did. Let me go ahead and switch it over to number 1. Okay, I've got number 1 hooked up, so let's turn it over. Let's see what the compression is. Now that's freaking pretty cool, I have to say. Check that out. All the cylinders are within a pound or two of each other now. So we just had a huge jump, and all I did was I used a can of Restore. Swear to you, that is all that was put in here. 200 miles later, and my 2 cylinders that were down at the worst, now I did put in new spark plugs, so that ain't going to change much. But I put this in there, and it's working. I know, I'm shocked too. Usually I'm that one that says putting all these additives in really don't change much, but I'm gonna tell you, this one right here, it worked. Anyways, that's using Restore on the Honda Civic 200 miles later. The two cylinders that were at its worst are back to the same, and actually all the cylinders all the way across are pretty dang close to each other. So I guess I can get a little bit more mileage, a little more use out of this motor before we end up doing the swap on it anyways. So anyways, hope that helps you guys to check out and maybe how to fix some low compression cylinders. Anyways, video 9 videos, we're out.